And we continue at 2:05 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wangs in Culver City.
John, when somebody says a naughty word on the radio, I have to hit a button called the dump button, and it erases the last 10 seconds of the conversation. So you'll just hear a reaction. We'll have no idea what's actually going on. If you download the podcast of this show, I have the opportunity not to air the swear word, because we shouldn't do that, because I accidentally will put it in a best of, and then I'll get in trouble on Christmas. But I do bleep them from time to time. Jennifer Van Laar, welcome to the wall.
I think is what made Javier Becerra say, I don't know about this. Sorry.
Jen!
Sorry.
She said the bad word. Andrew Dice Van Laar. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. And Randy, boy, did the mayor of San Francisco step in it.
It is Daniel Lurie's first big blunder as mayor of San Francisco. Here's a recap. Joel Engardio got recalled as District 4 supervisor because of his support to close the Great Highway and turn it into a park. The recall happens. Overwhelmingly, he gets kicked out of office. It is up to Daniel Lurie to find someone to appoint to that position. He appoints a political novice who owned a pet shop, and a week later, she resigned.
Uh-oh. Wasn't cleaning the cages?
Well, there are a few different things that have emerged in the last week that have made everyone wonder what exactly Daniel Lurie's vetting process was for Bella Alcaraz. Excuse me. She pronounces it Bella.
Bella?
Bella.
I've never heard Bella pronounced Bella before.
Let's find out who Bella Alcaraz is and why she was a San Francisco supervisor for just 1 week. Here's Monica Madden and ABC7 in the Bay. You can subscribe to their YouTube channel like I do by searching for ABC7 Bay Area.
And we have a breaking news update from San Francisco City Hall now after Supervisor Bella Alcaraz.
Bella.
Okay. I know in Spanish the double L sounds like a Y, but Bella is how I've always heard that name pronounced.
Hall now after Supervisor Bella Alcaraz abruptly resigned just 7 days after her appointment.
Alcaraz told San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie she would step down amid growing scrutiny over her past business practices.
ABC7 News political reporter Monica Madden has been digging into this all week long, and she joins us now with the very latest and an exclusive interview that you had with Alcaraz. What did she tell you?
Well, first and foremost, we waited outside of her office all day to get her. And something I want to note, Karina and Larry, is
that is dedication right there.
You know, her political career had the lifespan of a goldfish.
It was shorter than a Scaramucci.
It was.
Karina and Larry, as City Hall insiders tell me, they were initially shocked when Mayor Daniel Lurie appointed Alcaraz, who is a 29-year-old political novice with no prior experience in government. But quickly, these allegations...
What was that interview like?
Hey, you really want a Shar-Pei, don't you?
Quickly, these allegations about her previously owned pet stores operations and bookkeeping came to light, with many in San Francisco politics now asking, how did the mayor's office miss these red flags?
The local news was able to get on this story about 4 days after we learned who this person was and who was getting this job. It took the local TV news 3 or 4 days to find out all this dirt on her. What exactly was the hiring process?
You know, all of this reminds me, this and then the ranked choice voting where you end up with some random person in office, of the old Andy Griffith movie, A Face in the Crowd. You ever see that?
I haven't seen that one.
It's about a radio show a long time ago that would just profile some random person, and then you would live a life in the day of the random person. And Andy Griffith was one of the ones they profiled, and he was a guy in the drunk tank. I kind of feel like when it comes to politics now, they're playing the same game as A Face in the Crowd, where they just pick a random person and they go, okay, we got a vacancy on the board of supervisors. How about the lady that owns the pet shop? How about the guy in the drunk tank? Could it really be worse than what we have now?
Well, there is that.
Mayor Daniel Lurie owning.
For people in the Sunset, they pretty much just want to know, do you want to bring back the Great Highway or keep that park going? That's the most important issue to those constituents.
Mayor Daniel Lurie owning up Friday.
Yeah, I'm taking responsibility in my office.
I will say, this is a embarrassing mistake for Lurie, but he's owning it, which politicians do not usually do.
No, it's very rare.
They never say, I'm sorry. They never say, my bad. I screwed up. You don't hear that often, so I like that.
I'm taking responsibility in my office.
After his controversial pick for supervisor, Bea Alcaraz resigned Thursday night.
We are going to thoroughly review our vetting process, and we will get better. But
I feel like you might have to fire the person that was doing the hiring.
Well, you know, when Gavin Newsom first got appointed to office by Mayor Willie Brown, he was a wine salesman.
He was, but that wasn't straight to supervisor. That was to the parking commission.
Thanks, Willie.
Then he got appointed to be a supervisor.
And we will get better. But let me be clear, that rests on my shoulders.
On Wednesday, I interviewed the new owner of Alcaraz's former pet supply store in the Sunset neighborhood. I wanted to learn about the financials of the business, and we obtained profit and loss statements showing Alcaraz was losing tens of thousands of dollars every year from 2020 to 2023.
No one wanted a puppy?
I guess the snakes were eating her out of house and home.
The allegations intensified. Julia Baran, the new owner of the Animal Connection, shared text messages she and Alcaraz exchanged in March. Baran was asking about the payment of employees, revenue, and cash. We verified the validity of the text messages in which Alcaraz makes claims about skimping out on her business taxes.
Okay, I kind of like her now.
So she's a tax cheat, huh?
In the messages, Alcaraz says her taxes, quote, will be less since I pay people under the table now.
I don't know. That might be the kind of person you want in San Francisco.
Hey, they might be able to meet the budget.
She knows how difficult it is to do business in the city. That's why she's not paying taxes.
Alcaraz goes on to say she wrote off personal expenses as business ones, saying, quote, I also live off a big portion of the non-cash revenue. I pay for my dinner and drinks with my friends or clients as a business expense, and they may or may not pay me back in cash.
Boy, it sounds like she had everything worked out.
Sounds like she maxed out the business Amex. Hey, I got this one. I want to get the points. If you could just Venmo me, that'd be great. Here, we talked about pets. This counts as a business lunch, right? By the way, that's very common. There are plenty of people who do that crap all the time.
Yeah, but aren't you supposed to be on the DL about it? You're not supposed to tell it to a prospective buyer that this is how you do it to make it work?
That's where Bea's got a problem. You don't usually put that kind of thing in writing.
We wanted to ask Alcaraz directly about these messages. So I went to City Hall just before noon on Thursday. We waited outside her office for more than 4.5 hours. Her staff told me she had meetings.
That's a stakeout right there.
4.5 hours? I think at that point you get a union break.
Her staff told me she had meetings all day long. Eventually, a spokesperson for the mayor said we could have just 5 minutes with her due to scheduling. The spokesperson watched our interview. I read back these messages.
Okay, they already knew there was going to be a problem here. If Monica Madden is waiting around City Hall for 4.5 hours, you know you're in trouble.
Oh, this is shooting fish in a barrel.
I read back these messages and asked Alcaraz if she could explain.
You said that you were using personal expenses and writing them off as business expenses. Is that okay?
It's okay if you're insurance commissioner.
There's a lot that's okay if you're insurance commissioner.
I'm very kind of sketchy.
No, you know what? I don't know how much cash, is, floating around, but
Okay, I gotta know what this interview was like. And Lurie said, yes, you're the woman for the job.
If you're that woman's staff, how can you put her out there in front of a reporter?
Well, staff doesn't know her very well. They might have realized, okay, let's end this before it gets worse.
Time to look for a new job.
No, you know what? I don't know how much cash, is, floating around, but at the end of the day, I don't owe any taxes, and no matter how much cash we may have had, I was there to serve my community.
Oof. It's like watching a drunk man drive down an icy road.
Those were just random words all strung together, but there really wasn't anything she could say.
Welcome to the big league, sweetheart.
And to keep the lights on and to keep my employees paid and to keep the animals well fed.
I also pressed her about how she claimed to pay her employees.
So you did pay some employees under the table?
Look, if my friends' kids want to come into town and take summer jobs at the store, sweeping.
When did you own this pet store? 1953?
Some guys are coming back from the war, trying to figure out what they want to do next.
Sweeping the floor and stocking shelves, I'm going to pay them for that.
With cash, not reporting how you were paying them to the IRS?
I think if you...
By the way, I want to just give you a timeline. This interview happened Thursday afternoon. Bea resigned just a few hours later.
Well, how can you not? Imagine being her attorney watching this.
I think if you look at restaurants and all the other businesses in the area, the summer jobs and the summer hires, they should get paid, and that's what I did.
She better hope the parakeets aren't watching this interview and repeat it.
So you're not denying that you paid them in cash and didn't report it?
Like I said, if you go to restaurants, you go to stores, you go to other...
See, this is the problem when you appoint someone that has no political experience. They don't even know how to lie well.
No, they don't.
Like I said, if you go to restaurants...
She has no idea where to go with this, but I think she can tell in real time, oh, this job is over.
Well, don't forget, Lurie is relatively new also, and he comes from the private sector. So you have a lot of people who are just entering the world of politics without having come up through the ranks.
This is a $175,000 a year job that she gave up 1 week in. By the way, why do San Francisco supervisors make less than members of the LA City Council?
Are you giving them ideas for a raise?
No, I'm giving us ideas to give the jackasses down here a pay cut.
Okay, I can sign on to that.
If you go to restaurants, you go to stores, you go to other businesses, my college summer hires deserve to get paid.
You're not helping.
They needed a little extra cash. I paid them extra cash because I think they should.
I throw them a sawbuck here and there.
Javier Becerra is watching this going, that's how it looks. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do interviews.
Because I think they should get paid.
Accounting experts tell us if the allegations are true, it is not legal, but it is somewhat common for small businesses to write off personal expenses.
See, that's the thing. Like, all the things that she's being accused of doing, tons of small businesses do. They just don't publicize it.
Yeah, you don't go on the news and admit to it.
You cannot use your business account to pay for personal expenses and deduct them on your tax return. And also,
what if you bring one of the dogs with you? Then is it a business expense?
How much do you think she regrets saying yes to this offer?
She could have been anonymous, just living out whatever money she made from selling that pet store. Who was she connected to? How did this job happen?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Lassie went to Timmy and Timmy went to the mayor and the mayor said, okay, Timmy, You got it.
Lurie
She's
makes
a new
this
supervisor.
Lurie makes this announcement, and the entire county goes, "Who?"
And also, you have to report all your income that you receive in your business. And you have employees, you have to put them on payroll. You can't pay them, quote unquote, under the table. Generally, first you're hit with civil penalties. And if it's really bad,
What if their only job is to replace the newspaper in the bird cages?
You know, I'm kind of sympathetic to the mayor here because the mayor probably thought, okay, I have a vacancy on the board. Instead of going to some staffer or some community organizer or someone who works for a homeless not-for-profit, let's just try to find some small business person and put them on there. Oh, here's a woman who owns a pet store. She's young. She's trying to make it in the city in a tough industry. Let's put her on there. And then it blows up in his face like a hillbilly's rifle.
and if it's really bad, it could be referred to criminal penalties.
It comes after the mayor previously told reporters on Wednesday he was aware of some of Alcaraz's issues.
Did your office vet her?
Absolutely.
Okay, Shang, you want to give him an assist?
Did your office vet her?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Shang.
You know, she can't help that she's 29 years old. Those critiques are pretty interesting to me.
This is before it got really bad.
You could tell it was heading in that direction, though.
Were you aware prior to appointing her that the Animal Connection had struggled financially?
Yes, and absolutely. And I think as a small business.
Oh, no, Lurie. Did you catch it?
Shang, you want to help him out?
Absolutely. And I think as a small business owner running a small business during COVID, every small business in this city struggled during COVID. And so she gets it more than just about anybody else gets it.
Today, I asked him about what he knew and when.
When did you find out about the claims she made about her taxes?
Yeah, I found out about that last night or yesterday.
Yeah, see, the interview the day before, he just thought that she was really bad at business.
No, and the news knows all of this, of course, so they're just a cat playing with the ball.
Yeah, I found out about that last night or yesterday, late afternoon. That was new to me.
Now, the mayor will have a second attempt at appointing someone to District 4's vacant seat, balancing political issues like his upzoning proposals in the Sunset and the Great Highway debate that initially landed us here in this situation with, of course, Supervisor Joel Engardio's recall.
Monica, great reporting getting that interview. But talking about the mayor, did he say anything more about the vetting process, how that worked for this office and this position?
Several reporters asked him what was...
They put this thing on Craigslist?
Who do you think is going to be the next one to get an appointment? The smoothie shop owner, the sex traffic, the Chiquita banana lady?
Several reporters asked him, what was the process like? What exactly did your office do to make sure this person checked, the normal standards or check for red flags that you look for before you appoint someone to political office? And the mayor declined to give any specifics about that process, saying, we will be doing better this time. We'll be looking into what our vetting process was and reconsidering that going forward. Obviously, there's going to be...
We put up a flyer at the new park in the Sunset. Hey, want to be supervisor?
Maybe it was an inflatable noodle outside the office door.
A lot more scrutiny now on this process for his second pick, but we really don't know how much went into the interview process of this woman. And I think it just goes to show that her inexperience and, some of these things about her background really just weren't looked at in a thorough way.
Yeah, they almost need to do vetting of their own vetting process.
Which is what he said they will be doing, so.
All right. Thank you, Monica.
There you go. 1 week. And District 4 in San Francisco is yet again in need of a new supervisor.
You think since she had a lifespan of 5 days, he just flushed her? And right now, it's time to reopen the California Crime Blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And this edition involves a small business owner, well, maybe the one small business owner in California who's having a day that's less lucky than the woman who owned the pet shop.
A business owner in Lafayette was inside when it was getting robbed. For more, here's NBC Bay.
We have a terrifying encounter to tell you about. An East Bay business owner says she was forced to hide from half a dozen burglars after they broke in and ransacked her cafe. As NBC Bay Area's mayor...
What are you getting out of a cafe?
You can't be getting much.
Baguette?
As NBC Bay Area's mayor and Favre reports, the owner says it is the fourth break-in at her cafe.
This surveillance video showing at least 5 alleged burglars entering Panache Cafe in Lafayette is a somber reminder of Apple Sampang's terrifying close call.
I heard the door is
Wait, her name is Apple and she went to work at a cafe? I like it.
Didn't Gwyneth Paltrow name her kid Apple?
I believe so.
I heard the door is break.
Apple says early Thursday morning, someone broke the glass of the cafe's front door.
At that time, I don't have time to grab anything, phone or my purse or anything. I just try to run away.
She says
Apple was on the run.
Sounds like it.
She says she sounded her alarm and hid in the dark as the intruders walked by just inches from her.
I prepare to die because this time I feel like...
Oh, boy.
Sounds like a scary event.
I prepare to die because...
Poor Apple.
I prepare to die because this time I feel like more than 2. Normally they come 1 or 2 people, but this time I can hear they talking. The sound, the voice is more than 3 or 4, 5 people.
She says she clutched a baseball bat, poised to fight for her life.
I just...
Or maybe it was just day-old bread.
Fight for her life.
I just stand still. I have my baseball stick.
After ransacking her office and other rooms, she says the burglars stole a large safe bolted to the ground.
Johnny, what have we said on this show over and over and over again?
Well, we say a lot of things over and over and over again.
Safes are not safe.
That is very true.
Then took off. Apple says police arrived and initially thought she was a suspect.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Well, she is in there holding a baseball bat.
At what point do you just say, okay, I give up? And then she becomes Apple Crumble.
The police just dragged me down here and, he maybe thought I'm a robber too.
Now there's plywood on the front door, but Panache Cafe is open, and today loyal customers came in to offer comfort and support.
It's pretty scary, really scary, that I'm finding that it's happening more and more in these small communities.
Apple says she appreciates her customers flooding in to help her. She opened this cafe in 2018 and says...
Wait, it's only been open since 2018 and it's been robbed 4 times? That would make me a rotten apple.
This was not her first break-in.
This is my 4th time that happened to me.
We reached out to the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Department for details on the investigation, but have not received a response.
There you go. That's the tale of the bakery in Lafayette, where the owner was inside holding a baseball bat in case the 6 thugs happened to walk into the closet she was hiding in.
If I was Apple and I got robbed 4 times in that period of time, I'd be tart.
Well, I think we got all the juice out of that squeeze.
I think you're right. It's time to reopen the blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And Randy, this edition takes us to the Teacher's Lounge.
In Fremont, a man was arrested who had been sneaking into schools to go to the faculty lounge to steal a bunch of credit cards from teachers.
Now, if you're sneaking into the teacher's lounge to rob the teachers and you're looking for something valuable, shouldn't you be stealing the cigarettes?
For more, here's ABC 7 in the Bay.
Fremont police arrested a man in Walnut Creek, wanted in several Northern California counties for stealing teachers' credit cards from their classrooms.
Yeah, ABC 7 News reporter Anzar Hassan is live from the Fremont Police Department tonight with the details on this and new information. Anzar?
Dan Alma, good evening. The man was arrested on Monday after charging thousands of dollars on stolen credit cards. Fremont police now believe that...
You know that credit card companies usually reverse those things, right?
Well, especially when it's a teacher, because they get their statement and then they write notes on it in red ink.
Thousands of dollars on stolen credit cards. Fremont police now believe that this man may be involved in crimes going back to over a year.
It appears from seeing other...
How much of a bump do you think he can do on that card before someone catches on?
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a crime that's going to really lead you to the promised land.
It appears from seeing other cases that he was very comfortable on a school campus. He would give various excuses that he was a parent when he was confronted.
Yeah, that might be the worst part of this story, how this creep just was able to get into schools. Because if he wanted to do something worse than steal teachers' credit cards, he had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, just imagine this dope on the campus, there to steal the credit cards belonging to the teachers, but having to come up with all of these excuses as to why he's not there to rob the teachers. Excuse me, sir, what are you doing here on campus? I'm not here to rob anyone. I'm just a registered sex offender, that's all.
At times, or he would say that he was a staff member.
That's how a man was able to steal credit cards from school campuses, says Fremont Police Sergeant Richard Hamblin. In October, a Fremont elementary school reported a suspicious man walking around campus. When confronted by staff, police say the suspect gave conflicting explanations and then left. Soon after, police got reports of similar incidents at other schools.
He would find unoccupied classrooms, and he would enter a classroom and go through and steal their IDs, their credit cards. So a lot of people didn't even know they were victims until maybe they got home and they started getting fraud alerts.
On Monday, Fremont...
Wait a second. I don't remember going to the body shop.
Now, wait a minute. Why are the teachers putting their credit cards in an empty classroom?
Yeah, this is already confusing.
On Monday, Fremont police tracked the suspect to Walnut Creek, where he was returning a rental car and arrested with the help of Walnut Creek police.
Marked unit in the parking lot. He attempted to leave the parking lot. Our officer called Walnut Creek PD, got them on the phone, told them why he was there and who he was after.
And it's not just Fremont. Fremont police say the suspect is wanted in Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, San Mateo, Solano, and Yolo counties.
How many schools did this guy go to before he finally got caught?
It sounds like all of them.
For similar thefts occurring on school campuses. In February, he hit 4 schools in...
That is a massive indictment of the state of California. If this guy for a year was able to break into this many schools during school hours...
Well, it just goes to show you how wide open these campuses are. These campuses are supposed to have security. They're supposed to have locking gates. They're supposed to have police officers. They're supposed to have people keeping an eye on the campus.
For similar thefts occurring on school campuses. In February, he hit 4 schools in Marin. In April, 2 schools in Lafayette. In September, 1 school in Hillsborough. Police believe there could be other districts as well. The suspect was arrested after the Marin Schools burglaries, but police have not been able to confirm how or why he was released.
I know he...
Of course.
We all know why. It's California.
So this guy got busted for doing this, gets out, and what does he immediately start doing? The same thing.
It's almost as if that's what criminals do.
I know he was arrested and was let go, and they were actively looking for him. I don't know the circumstances of why he was let go or how he got out.
In a statement to ABC 7 News, Fremont Mayor Raj Salwan praised the police department for this investigation. Fremont police say there is no indication that the suspect hurt or threatened the students or teachers.
Yeah, but he just stole all their credit cards.
Yeah, that's kind of bad, isn't it?
You know, you think about the neighborhoods that we're talking about, especially schools in Marin and Fremont, he would have been better off stealing the credit cards of the students.
That's true.
Reporting live, Ansar Hassan, ABC 7 News.
So there you go. The serial credit card thief has been caught. Maybe he'll stay behind bars this time, but it's California, so probably not.
If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, I told you last week, I was convinced that I was going to get sick because on the way back from Brazil on the plane, I had a woman in my row who was sick as a dog and was blowing her nose into her bare hands the entire flight and touching everything on the plane.
You did say that.
It took less than a week. That woman had so many germs dancing in the air all over that airplane, I might as well have licked her tray table. So here we are. Let's hope the voice holds up this week. Right now, it's time to reopen the California crime blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And Randy, this one takes us to San Jose.
It sure does, where someone was getting their house fumigated, and apparently that's the perfect time to put on a gas mask and steal stuff.
Because why not?
For more, here's NBC in the Bay Area.
A new twist to an old heist. That's what crime analysts are saying about a burglary in the South Bay. Thieves broke into a home that was tented for fumigation and ransacked it. And get this, surveillance pics show at least one of the thieves wearing a gas mask.
Well, I would assume they're wearing a gas mask. Otherwise, they're going to not walk out of there.
Yeah, or you're going to walk out looking really funky.
Damian Trujillo is at the San Jose Police Headquarters with the story you'll see only on NBC Bay Area. Damian.
San Jose Police tell me this is still an ongoing investigation, and the fumigation company tells me they do not offer 24-hour security when a home is tented.
I mean, they probably didn't think they needed to because it's full of poison.
Wasn't there an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer had to go into an apartment that was being fumigated to get a script?
That's right.
And it made him a little off.
This Willow Glen Way building was recently tented for fumigation. And when
Then, of course, you remember the final season of the legendary show Breaking Bad. The newest tactic to make a mobile meth lab was actually to do it inside a fumigation.
That seems safe.
They tent, they cook their meth, then they set off the bug bomb. No one's the wiser.
This Willow Glen Way building was recently tented for fumigation, and when the family, who was renting one of the units in a duplex, returned on Thursday morning, this is what they found: busted door locks. Then they saw the surveillance images. One of the alleged burglars was wearing a gas mask as they ransacked the home. The victims did not want to be identified for fear of retribution. They only gave us their first names.
I had shoes, Jordans. I had a lot of 30 pairs.
Apparently, you got to take all your shoes with you when you get tented now.
He had 30 pairs of Air Jordans?
Burglar might have been doing him a favor. What do you think the bottom of his closet looked like?
What was the popular shoe in the 90s? Wasn't it that the Pump?
Yeah.
I wonder if he had any of them.
I had shoes, Jordans. I had a lot of 30 pairs. And they took only the main, they left a lot of brand new pairs. They took only the expensive ones.
So they knew what they were looking for.
I wonder if he was keeping all of those shoes for personal use or he was selling them himself.
There are a whole lot of people that their investment strategy for life is collecting special shoes, special shirts, or Pokemon cards.
Okay, but let's just say that these investments are what's going to make you whole when you're retired. Why would you leave them in a house that's having dangerous poison being pumped into it?
The thieves went room to room, turning over a baby crib, stealing their friend's safe, and taking off.
Johnny, what do we always say?
Safes protect nothing.
And taking off with thousands of dollars in cash that Brandon's mom was hiding.
Very bad.
You don't take the cash out of the mattress?
Oh, no, that's there for the poison, too. Needs to marinate.
Very bad. Because they stole everything.
Maricela says that friends were advising her to keep money at home because she's an immigrant and nothing is certain for her right now.
Oh.
Wait, so she's worried about getting deported? So she's going to have the money in her mattress instead of in the bank.
But the family can't get over how prepared the crooks were, including wearing that gas mask.
So this is an old method that burglars used many years ago.
Former San Jose police detective Michael Leninger says when a home is tented, it's obvious no one is inside. So renters and homeowners should take all valuables with them, and they should insist a fumigation company provide 24-hour security or hire their own guards.
Unless there's a visible deterrent.
Or live with the termites.
Okay, in defense of these companies, if you're pumping a house full of poison, do you really need to have a rent-a-cop on the outside to keep people from breaking inside there?
Unless there's a visible deterrent, you simply put on a World War II gas mask and you enter the home and no one's going to see you enter. No one's going to see you leave.
Well, if anyone does see you, they assume, oh, that's probably the pest control guys.
Yeah, especially if you're wearing, a gas mask.
San Jose police don't believe this is a new trend and say detectives continue working this case. Meanwhile, the family has opened a GoFundMe account hoping to make up some of the money Maricela was saving from her house cleaning job.
GoFundMe. My money got stolen. I need more of it.
More for my mom.
In the South Bay, Damian Trujillo, NBC Bay Area News.
Is nothing sacred? A man can't even pump dangerous poison into his house and be safe.
How much of Mom's maid money went to those Air Jordans?
Oh, a lot of it.
This was the nest egg for the whole family. We were going to sell a whole lot of them and retire.
What's the going rate for a 30-year-old pair of shoes?
Well, if we go on the old stolen merchandise machine, eBay, and we're going to look for Air Jordans, let's see what we can find.
Are they still making Air Jordans? Because he's been retired for years.
I think they still make them, yes. Okay.
Well, they're not making Mickey Mantle gloves.
Here is a 2022 Air Jordan, the Retro High OG Chicago Reimagined version, size 10.5, for $427 for used shoes.
In what world do they still have a clothing line for an athlete that hasn't played a competitive game in generations?
The Air Jordan 5 Retro T23-5 Tokyo. These are brand new shoes. $455. Who's paying $450 for sneakers?
Maybe that's a business you and I need to go into, Randy. How about this? Shoeless Joe Jackson toenail clippers. You think we can? I wonder if he has any living heirs where we would need to pay them off, or it's just something that's just a free-for-all. We could just slap his name on there and put him in every Walgreens in America.
I think you're better off sticking to your tech stocks.
They've had a rough couple of days. All right, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow at noon for another edition of The John Phillips Show.